Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
I have a friend!
Who that friend?
It you.
Yesterday.
It you.
It me?
It you.
Poggers.
It you. Yes, Kells is in crunch time. Okay, basically gave me a blanket. Probably not going to be good for art stream until work is done. And that's it. Very valid.
She had work and you do.
Yes. Hi, Buzz!
Hello, Buzz.
How's it going?
Well.
The background noise of the PC isn't being picked up by the microphone anymore because the PC has been moved.
Ooh.
Also, we're on neat, improved internet.
Yes.
Is it time for me to flex? It might be time for me to flex.
Hey, are you about to try and flex your upload and download speed? Just make sure there's no IP thing shown with that, yeah? Oh my fucking god! Fuck you. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Blue, you could run my internet from here as well, and I'd still probably get a good thing. Fuck you now.
That's what happens when you go to the providers and go, "Hello, we want to the internet," and they're like, "Do you want phone? No. Do you want TV? No. Just internet. Just internet." My dad's furious because he literally gets like a tenth of that speed and is paying twice as much. And I'm like, you know why? It's because you pay for TV.
Yeah.
Don't need TV. Got Netflix.
Got YouTube, got Netflix, got the apps.
Got YouTube, got Netflix, got Amazon Video. Freaking yeah.
Speaking of Amazon, don't forget to use your Amazon Prime. So
there it is. There it is. Bah. Yes. It took us a while to get that sorted, but yeah, when we first moved in and we were on potato speeds, we were like, okay, no, this needs to be rectified, and we literally looked at all of the providers, and none of them, except one, were able to provide us something better. So we were like, oh, the other companies must literally not have the cables down. And this one does. So it's like, we can only go with this provider.
Yeah.
Because the infrastructure is physically not there.
Yeah. It can be that way a lot of the times where a provider will straight up have, we did the Wi-Fi for this area, which basically means we fucking have monopoly on this area.
Yeah. Because yeah, when we first came to get it set up, and we literally had the box sent to us, and the instructions of like, just plug it in the wall, and we were like, there is no socket, and there was just that slight dilemma of looking at each other and being like, they said they could do the internet to this house, and we can literally see the people across the road have like the same wires, so it's like it's available. But apparently it just wasn't set up in this house because, as I've said for like 500 times, clearly an old person lived in this house and they probably didn't need fibre optic setup. So we eventually got someone on the phone and they were like, yep, we'll send out an engineer. The engineer came. He played D&D, by the way, and was literally like, yeah, let me just tweak this, and pulled a wire through from Narnia, I guess. And hooked it up, and we're all done. And yeah, and we're getting those speeds. And then there was a big teething issue of actually trying to get the speed up to the room, because obviously having a cable will always be infinitely better than Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very interesting because our base speed, as you just saw, is very high, but the drop-off on the Wi-Fi from the box is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You walk to the other side of the house and you basically have no signal at all, which is crazy. But so obviously we were like, cool, we need to string a wire, and yeah, there was some technical issues with the wire, but it's been fixed, as you can see, and is now functional.
Clearly, yes.
So fingers crossed for the next 2 years because of our contract.
Yeah.
But I mean, if all it has to do is stay the same.
Yes. Just be consistent.
Just stay the same. That is all I am asking for.
All we want is consistency.
All I want is consistency. So yeah. I was a little bit like, the internet package is pricey and stuff. But Spook was like, look, on average, how much do you get from Twitch? And I gave him a figure, and he was like, if you can keep that up, then that's the internet paid for. And I'm like, okay, okay.
There you go. See, there's the logic.
So those subs that you guys have, I'm only half joking.
Push us, Kitty says Blue Sky Online. Don't forget that you can use.
Hello, friend.
Hello, Narrowin.
I have played more Palia, by the way. Yes, seeing you did immediately put that into my brain.
It is very hard to like see those little fish, that fisherman robot, and not go, that's just Narrowin.
I know, right? I love him.
And I say this, Narrowin, with all the love in my heart for you, buddy. That this is absolutely not hyperbole, and it's not like, oh, you're just this. It's like, that is the kind of friend you are, is we love you. We are always delighted to see you. Beep boop. It's far from the days of the USS overcompensating.
Yeah. Also, they did a Wally reference.
Wow.
Because when I leveled up when you level up your skills, basically when you sort of like hit like a landmark level of your skill, the trainer of that skill will send you a letter to let you know that like they've got something new for you to learn or to buy. Mm-hmm. And when I leveled up my fishing, the robot sent me a letter and was literally like, I fished this up and it contains life. I am told that humans enjoy life, so I decided to give it to you. And it's a boot with a plant in it!
Wow.
It's a boot with a plant in it! And I'm like, oh no, I love them!
It's like, we know how to make this very appealing to you guys. Because hey, who can copyright a boot?
It's a boot with a plant!
Yeah. Why? Paint away from misery to happiness today. Oh, this was a lot of fun as well. Not last week, but the week before, I played against a guy who I found out is an army vet.
Oh.
At our local. And of course, I do the narration as we play because I'm that guy where I'm like, oh yeah, they're shooting off the tank and it's just ding 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 ding. And he said, actually, it sounds like boom 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 when a tank gets shot. And I'm like, how do you know that?
Oh.
How do you know that? And he's like, when you talk that high pitch, I can't hear you in my left ear. I was like, oh god.
Oh.
Yes, I literally could.
That's not what a man sounds like when he's being stabbed. Slowly turns. How?
Well, that was his fault for like questioning how Christopher Lee knew what a man.
Yes.
I would just presume Christopher. I'll keep wanting to say Ian McKellen.
Ian
McKellen probably also knows what a man.
Probably does. Probably does also know. Yes.
Because well, he exists alongside Christopher Lee, and there's no way he didn't bring him along on some like occult termination mission or something.
That file is classified.
Yep. Never forget that Christopher Lee may legitimately be a part of an organization which is the actual inspiration for James Bond.
Yes.
The League of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And I fucking love the ostentatiousness of that notion. Primarily because it has Christopher Lee in it. Anyway. But when I played this guy, he was blessed and he was super stressed because he was a little late. And I guess it's just from a thing that people who have, you know, either family in military or are in military is punctuality is a trigger in a big way, where if you're not on time, you panic, and you're not that fussed when someone else isn't on time because you're on time. Then that's what matters. So bless him, he showed up and he was like red in the face from running. He was like, I'm so sorry, I'm late and all this. I'm like, you're fine, let's play away. And an hour in, we were just red in the face laughing at shit.
Aww.
So he was playing the Space Wolves. They're another loyalist chapter, just like my Salamanders. And we were like, well, there's legitimately no reason why these...
Let's go! Thank you! 4 months, baby!
You are good, bee.
Thank you! Oh, hello. Hi.
Night.
You're to bed.
Off to bed.
Bye-bye.
Have a fun
Love you,
stream.
Spook.
Thank you. Thanks. Heck. Mwah. Pat, 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 pat.
Narrowin, I think Baldur's Gate has a vice grip on everyone.
Ah, stop taking me.
Night.
I love you, bye.
Goodbye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, Spook.
What?
Why'd you have 3 of the same Tim?
Because the Pokemon Company is a money-grabbing conglomerate.
That didn't answer my question.
It had
so-
they had 3 different things inside of them. Good night. I need to sell some of those because I feel bad about throwing them away.
So we made a joke that this has got to be like, you know, a practice skirmish between our two factions, because legitimately our factions don't dislike each other. They tend to get along quite well. It's like in the point of they're the two factions that is like, oh, are we surrounded by actual people? Well, Space Wolves have dog mentality, which is like, I like this person. You're not going to hurt this person. Where the Grey Knights were like, oh, hey, these guys were experienced chaos. They saw chaos. They have to be purged. The Space Wolves said, all right, run hands. Because you have to get through us before you can fucking touch them. To the point where their chapter master quite literally teleported in a suit of heavy armor up to their main deck, went, all right, who the fuck's in charge? Killed him, and then killed the next 2 highest up and went, fuck all of you. And then left. And the Salamanders, who were just like, oh, are those civilians? Then everything else doesn't matter. Fuck your orders, we're saving civvies. You want us to go and do that mission? Fine. Save these civilians and we'll go do it. So we legitimately couldn't like think of a reason why they would actually want to fight. So we're like, oh, it's a skirmish match. It's gotta be. But there's a particular Space Wolf who's in one of those suits of Dreadnought armor called Bjorn Fell-Handed. Because he's got giant heavy-handed, and he's got one of them wields an axe. And we were like, he was asleep because the model just killed anything it got near, resisted all the damage it could take and everything else. We were like, he was asleep when the brief was being given that this was a skirmish, and he thinks the Salamanders legitimately portray the Space Wolf, and he's trying to fucking kill them. He's like, why did you betray us, brothers? How dare you? You're no better than Horus. Just fucking, we were there giggling the entire time at this silly little notion. So it's good fun.
Baldur's Gate has a vice grip on me. I think you and majority of the internet, to be honest.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I forget who posted it up, but it was one of the Baldur's Gate devs posted up. I'm going to avoid our IT people because I told them that we're probably going to have a peak of 200,000, and it was at 700,000 for their servers. Like, I'm honestly so happy Larian Studios firstly took the time to do this right. Legitimately took the time to do this right. But also that it just is such a success, and they're just fallen to being such sweethearts with every community they're in. Also, just like Elden Ring, they've looked at the very important thing of, no, we don't have microtransactions. Fuck off. If you want to get a little bit more from us, either have played the previous games, which I did, or buy the deluxe edition and you'll get all these cool items in a chest inside in the camp. Are they stat-based items? No. One lets you change how your character can look at will. One lets you wear just a fancy cloak. One is just straight up like an admiral's big, ridiculous hat. And all these kind of items. And I think it's meant to be in the deluxe edition, or like the elite edition or something, or if you were previously played the other games, because I didn't buy the deluxe edition, but I have the previous game. So I think that's where it's from.
When you say previous games, do you mean previous
Divinity,
Baldur's Gate
Divinity.
or previous from Larian?
Yeah, previous Larian games. Because the items are from Divinity Original Sin 2.
Right, okay.
The helmet is one that the undead character can wear if you don't want to have to make him wear a bucket all the time. so that he can walk around and be like, "Hello, persons, I am human. Look at my human face."
Yes, I am a human man. You wanna go skateboards?
Skateboard? ASDF never changed.
I feel like I can't remember if I even said this on stream or not, but the absolute recoil that I did of my brother grabbing the Muffin Time card game off our game shelf while we were moving, at which again family ADHD, but this doesn't even begin. That's a whole different topic. He was like, "Box shiny." He just wanted to look at it. It's like, it's got a shiny box, and I opened it up and I was like, "This is a game which is fairly simple, but most of the fun comes from knowing the references." And he looked at the cards and he went, "Oh yeah, I know this." And it was just the absolute flat line of my brain of like, "You know what 88? You what? Since when have you watched those?"
It's muffin time. Actually, no, it's not time yet. Somebody kill me,
Why don't you let me die?
cause I wanna die. But like I like trains.
I like trains.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, V or whoever's in chat. You missed the opportunity to throw an arcane at her.
It's not a train.
I like trains. Yeah, it was so jarring on Friday where I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll happily play a game against you." Like I was meant to play against someone else, but they couldn't show up. I'm about to do the flat. Sorry, that's gonna keep happening. Where I'm just gonna look at the chat, see one of those references, and just go, "Ah."
It's called verbal stimming, and we're all ADHD again. Throw the cheese! Wait, this one I can do.
Yeah.
I just haven't. Where is it? It's all the way at the bottom.
We got cheese. Have we got cheese?
It's not live.
Damn you! I think Stacey's coming in to query why I said, "Do we have cheese?"
Cheese.
We haven't the opportunity to throw cheese yet at Blue. We might one day though. I love you. I know, but cheese. But we're doing ADS
Cheese.
memes and it's throw the cheese. Understood. I'm not sure if you could hear her shout Pokeballs at the top of her lungs. Love you. Also, I have a car.
You have a car, I have a house. It's still
Ah.
weird to say.
Yes.
Literally, I was
I know.
randomly chilling in a Discord last night, and someone joined in, and they were like, "Hey," and we were like, "Oh, hey, we haven't spoken in like months." And they're like, "How's things?" Like, "Good. I'm a homeowner." Ah! Throw the cheese and then the cheese tax comes. Oh god, we layer in those memes.
Which we can say here because we don't have Phoebe, who will come in expecting cheese.
Dog.
Dog. No. A Pokemon that Stacy seems to quite like, or at the very least can mimic very well. Humble. Yeah, it was, yeah. On the weekend, it was just like, hey, yeah, the guy that you wanted to play can't make it. This other guy said he wants to play. You okay playing against him? I was like, sure, no bother. He said, oh, hey, it's one of my first games of 10. Bearing in mind, he said one of. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, that's all good. And then I'm there like, oh man, I brought this army that's kind of like a bit strong. It's designed to have like essentially very good anti-tank, very good anti-horde, not a lot in the middle. But very good anti-tank and very good anti-horde, but not a lot for the middle stuff, which gives people, play against me. This guy showed up, and for those who don't know, I'll use the analogy of D&D. In each edition of D&D, the game changes massively. It is still slightly similar. You can definitely go, yep, those are still the same characters, just in different editions. But, there's differences, and you can't run one like you would the other. Like the Barbarian, it's entirely different.
Yeah.
But this guy came in, bearing in mind, he knew this was 10th edition. He knew that there was a new app for 10th edition. There was entire new rule sets for 10th edition. But he came in with an entire printout of 9th edition. And came with the notion of, oh, well, if there's anything that I get wrong, if you see it, you can just correct me and we'll, we'll change it up. So it became my job, and I went, no, you're going to download the app. Which came a little bit of arguing, because I was saying, look, man, it'll take you 2 seconds. You won't have to look at my phone constantly. Just download the app.
Valid.
Because as well, he hasn't points value to this army. So I looked at it. Well, no, he has, but he has for the older edition. Points values have greatly changed in the 2 editions. Like, I could have fielded, times a half of the army I was running against him if I was in 9th edition, for example, because points got really heavily shuffled. Which they kind of needed, because some of it was good, some of it wasn't. And points values were just an easy way, rather than actually changing stats. They're just changing point values of oh, this unit is really strong. Okay, it's more expensive to bring it. You can still have its really strong components. It's just going to cost you more of your army to do so, which I prefer. I think it's a much better way to balance something. Because every army has 2,000 points, and you have to fill that with people and stuff. And if something is better, then it's going to cost more of those 2,000 points. Standard troop of 5 guys for Marines is 90 points, for example. So he comes in with the army, and it's 4 really big monsters, 2 really dangerous psychic monsters, and I later looked it up. It was the meta build of the last edition. Because essentially, so how Tyranids used to work is,
no, I get it. You don't have to explain.
No. Sorry.
It was a meta. He bought one of the top builds.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying here is that he's trying to sneak in the old system and win.
Yeah,
this seems
basically
underhanded to me.
Oh, massively. And he was beginning to do things, because I got the first turn. He was beginning to do things, and I went, whoa, where are you going with that? No, you shouldn't be able to do that. Because essentially, I only knew this because I looked up stuff for the Tyranids, because I was curious. And I've looked at some things, and he started describing what his character was doing. He had the unique character, which is the Tyranids' best leader, martial leader, called the Swarm Lord. Very creative. And I was just listening to him talk, and I was going, none of these things are on the 10th edition rule set for him. And I pull it up, and I'm looking at it going, my lad, what are you basing this off of? Shows me it. I look at it and immediately recognize that it's a 9th edition set, and I said, no, you've got the entire wrong thing. I later looked up the rules for the points of this as well, and his army was very highly overvalued for what it was, including having units which were discontinued between 10th and 9th, so he had illegal units as well. And originally I was like, okay, now I feel worse, because I've just told this guy he can't bring his toys to come and play. I feel bad, so I'm not worried about it too much. I'm like, look, we'll just keep playing, it's all good, but look it up, and you can just look at because it's super easy to use the app. I will say, I'm really annoyed that they always were going to, but I'm really annoyed that they have announced that at the end of August, I think it's going to go to subscription based, but it will be tied into Warhammer Plus. So if you're doing it anyway, you'll be getting a bunch of other things videos and the like. Is it perfect? No. Could it be worse? So we kept on playing then, and it was only whenever things suited him that the mega rules were found and discovered for his guys, and he knew all the big guns, and he knew what all his big guns did, and it just came to a point where I was going, you know what? No, I'm not gonna play nice anymore, and I'm absolutely not gonna pull my punches and make suboptimal choices, because I made a few because I was like, I don't need to. Like, there's no need to go sweaty with this guy, because I'm already winning, because I just know the system better, and I've gotten more points already. Like, I'm in the lead, and he starts doing all these. He starts trying to waffle his. When I say waffle, I mean like jargon and bullshit his way through some of his rules. Like, I'm close enough to this objective, I would have taken it. And I said, no, you weren't. You put yourself down. I measured from the objective. I said you weren't in range, and you just continued playing because you wanted to be able to charge my other guys. So you put them close enough to it. Continued on. TLDR. People in the chat or people on the Discords might be aware of my favorite Dreadnought, Broody.
Yes.
Broody, the Brutalis Dreadnought. He tried to one-shot Broody in one turn with a bullshit gun that I'd never heard of, but rolled 11, and he said, okay, it's dead. And I said, no, Broody's alive. He's got 12 wounds. He hasn't been hurt yet. So he gets brought down to 1 wound. And he keeps trying to do bullshit things, which I know he doesn't have access to. It's like, no, you don't have that. That's a Space Marine, or that's a Tau, or that's an Eldar. Suddenly he's pulling stratagems out his ass.
Oh, God.
So I essentially just look at his Swarm Lord who's gotten too close, and I say, Broody, kill this man. So, Broody the Brutalis can do this thing where if he charges someone, he can do damage to them as they charge. There's also a stratagem you can do which does the same thing, and they stack, because they're named 2 different things. As such, they can both apply to the same element. So, I charge it, it's like, okay, I've done half your health already on that character with this, and so that you can't counter-offense me and fight with someone else, I'm immediately going to fight with Broody, and I just kill it in 2 hits. It's just like, dead. It's like, there, fuck you. Because that's immediately all his momentum gone. Yeah, it was a peak, suck my day kind of situation. I felt zero shame. I legitimately felt zero shame. But, it got towards 10 o'clock.
As you command, leaves coal dust on the enemy spots. Nice, Vaz.
He has guns that can do that, because he's got guns that are like those big melta ones, but I essentially say he shoots you with his tits, because they're at his torso, like they're at his chest, they're 2 big melta guns, and I'm just like, he's got nipple guns. Boop, 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 boop. Because, is that funny? Yes. Is it funny thinking of the 10-ton terror doing that? Absolutely. But I'm looking at it, it's the end of my turn 3. It's 10 o'clock. They're getting ready to close up. They're asking us all to, last things, guys, come on, gotta go. And I say, look, okay, I'd say this game is done. And he's like, no, we'll keep playing. They can't kick us out. I think I've got a shot.
It's like,
and I go,
bruh.
And I just look at him and say, my lad, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. If you do, it means you have to play perfectly for 3 turns, and I'm not going to pull my punches. I've been pulling my punches. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to get thrown out. I'm not getting in trouble with them because you want to keep playing. I've won. Good game. If you want to shake my hand, and we'll leave. Shook my hand, immediately put all those things in the boxes, and stormed out, complaining that Space Marines were incredibly overpowered in this edition. By the way, they're mid of the road. Being beaten out right now by Tyranids.
Cool, so don't play against that guy again.
Oh no, like one of the guys who more or less runs it as one of the more senior guys was like, hey, how'd the game go? Because he knew the guy from previous, and I said, he came with 9th edition rules. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, he used to be like an okay player at the time. I was like, and he kept trying to do this, and there was a lot of really fast dice rolls as well, where let's say you have to roll 40 shots for something, he will roll it using the same 5 dice and just count aloud. And I've had it before where it's like, no, you got 8, not 10 with those last few. Like, I'm there counting it alongside him going, motherfucker, I'm counting too, bitch. I got so fed up with him so quickly. And what's worse is the guy because there was one guy who was to the right of me, who was also there waiting for someone who hadn't shown up because there was a traffic thing. And I just looked at, and he was also playing Tyrannus. I was like, "Hey, do you want to play against my guys?" And the two people who came late were both playing Salamanders and Tyrannus, and we're like, we could have just done it, and there would have been no difference, except the guy that I was playing next to would have had to have gone up against this fella and his dodgy antics.
His dodgy army, yeah.
Yeah. But sure, look, it's happened, it's done. I hope in the future that if I do have to play him, he's learned, and if I do play him in the future, I'm going to demolish him. I'm not going to hold my punches, and I'm absolutely going to go for the throat. Because I don't play optimally. It's no fun. It's no fun to sweat. But when you're doing it to beat someone up who deserves it, oh, baby. So fun. So fun. So, yeah. But I will say, for those who I know people like I know Carlos has said it, that her brother has indeed taken the entire week off to play. Like Baldur's Gate 3, I fully get it. I fully get anyone who's doing that. I do.
The Baldur's Gate hype is very real.
It's real, and honestly, it's justified. It is. Like, I was a bit burned out at the start because I played all that so much already, because I played that like on loop 2 or 3 times. Played it with Kay once or twice.
That's the thing, I didn't touch it at all because I was like, I just want to play it when it's ready. Because I know that if I start playing it, I'm gonna want it. So if I start playing it and I reach a point where it's like, thanks for playing the alpha, we'll see you in a year's time, I'm gonna be like, no! So I was like, I'll just wait. I've got other stuff to do.
You were right to. 100%. And I fully admit that. Like, anyone who waited, you did the right thing in waiting. Christ alive, it was... I have not seen gameplay anywhere. So V, when it comes to top-down, not top-down, but like, you know, near top-down perspective RPGs. Have you played anything
you watched did you catch some of our Dragon Age playthrough? Think of when I had the camera like fully zoomed out of that like top-down view in a way.
Actually, there we go. Dragon Age Origins is a perfect example, because Dragon Age Origins was based on D&D. Of course, they had their own unique setting and names and everything.
Like Divinity, yes, the same people who made Divinity made it.
Yes, actually, bang on, V. Yes, like quite literally.
It is 100% Divinity. Literally, we've talked about this before on the channel, but I remember we played through Divinity Original Sin 2, and we were like, this is the closest example to D&D as a video game that we have seen. And Wizards of the Coast agreed with that statement, and they went to the company and they were like, do this again, but with all of our D&D stuff. And they have.
Do this again, but you don't have to pretend that you're not doing D&D. Because there was a lot of elements which were very D&D inspired, but not quite, but very D&D inspired by it, you know. And again, no idea is original, but it just let them go full on. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh, Vaz, you were that player? Don't think I could have played against you, Vaz. I was that ND kid. Vaz, I was that ND kid. I would have blown a gasket. Like, as an adult, I bit my lip. But as a kid, I lose the plot when that kind of thing happens. Because I'm very much so like, no, that's what the rule says. Like, I've stopped being that with, like, the likes of D&D. But that's because D&D is being played with friends. And, like... okay, I want to do this. I want to use this ability to do this.
Yeah, I think when we play D&D with our friends, we're not doing it to try to bullshit. We try to do stuff because we want to be creative. And maybe, yeah, we want to do something cool that maybe the rules wouldn't quite do it, which is why we go, can I kind of do this? But we're not. It's not to break the game. It's literally. It's not because we want to win. It's because we want to try to have a cool narrative moment occur.
Yeah, it's like I can't do this in narrative. However, if I used this mechanic, I could
Yeah.
mesh it with this thing. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
so
can I use this attack to partially freeze the floor? And it's like, well, in writing, no, but narratively, yes, I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Can I use my magic and my blood magic to stop her effect that's about to touch this statue and this this giant scale, so that it's being held in place?
I was proud of that. That was me being
You
smart.
fucking should be. You
That was
clever
me
bitch.
being smart. It clicked in my brain of like I can't physically touch her, and as I'm like staring at her, cause it's like you can see these like blobs of liquid drifting off her up into the sky, and it just clicks in my brain of like liquid. That liquid can only be one thing. This ability affects blood.
Because she's this bitch.
She's
She
this
would only
bitch.
use- this dramatic bitch would only use blood.
What does my ability do? It freezes you in place, and if you read the description, it's because you freeze the blood. So that was me. That was me being smirched.
Yes, it was. And yes, credit to you, you were smirched. SMRT.
I am, yeah. And then I got petrified and turned to stone.
I fixed you, you were fine.
I got better. But yes, the universe is in balance. I had a very smart, overpowered moment that made Curls almost bite through her pencil, and then she petrified me for it. So fair's fair.
Yes, but at the same time, we had fucking Kay running around with his animated object statue, or his animated object mirror, fucking trying to make her look at her own reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, V, you are correct. D&D and the likes of Yu-Gi-Oh is meant to be like a, I'm trying to win versus this person. D&D is, the Dungeon Master is telling a narrative, you are engaging with this narrative. This narrative has obstacles, both combat and dialogue, as well as puzzle-based solvings. Go nuts, kids.
Yeah. Any people who is like, anybody who is like the goal of D&D is like players versus DM. I'm like, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Who hurt you? That's not what D&D is about at all. The DM is also a player, and they also get to have fun. It's not a competition.
If it was a competition, the DM could win it immediately.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
not fun.
It's not fun for everybody to get together and in the first 10 minutes go, right, 10 dragons turn up and eat you and you all die. Session's over, and it's like, oh cool, that was fun. It's like, no.
I can't imagine what particular tavern-based incident this occurred in one time with one person running as a DM, and it's like, wait, what do you mean a dragon just rips open the roof of the inn we're in? What the fuck, man? Oh lord.
Okay, this was meant to be a warm-up, and I don't know where I'm going with it, so I'm done now.
Okay. Buddy.
Rule of cool, hell yeah. It's rule of cool. It's rule of cool, and it is supported by the game rules. I know that we have many discussions about D&D. I know there's people about saying like how people of like it being too complicated and stuff like that. For me, D&D is still like the perfect middle ground. Obviously, everybody likes their own thing, but for me, it is the perfect middle ground of like, if a game is too much mechanics, it's too much and I shut down. It's why I didn't take to 3.5 anywhere near as much as I did 5th, because my god, 3.5 was heavy for me. Literally, there was too much maths. And I've heard people say there's too much maths in 5th, and I'm like, that's fine. Everybody has their own opinion. For me, it's a fine amount of maths, because to be honest, in general, you're adding at most 2 numbers. And on your character sheet, you can write down the total of that number. So you just have a single figure. It's like you can know the maths behind it of like, oh, it's my dice roll plus this modifier plus this proficiency plus my magic weapon, but you don't have to write that on the sheet. You can just write total plus 7. There you go. So that's nice and simpler for me. So, but then again, it allows that creativity of like, but I kind of just want to do this. And if you have a nice DM like we do, then they'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll let you do it because it sounds cool.
I literally made an entire mechanic about spellcasters who are conveniently all in this party. Eventually, you may all have this ability. Who knows? To be able to do wild and wacky shit which you might not have the spell for, but you can attempt to pull from the weave.
Yeah. That's basically, Das is giving us ultimate creativity, which is very, very generous and also very brave, but also Das is not afraid to give people repercussions.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to punch back. It's like, oh, you hit the world? Okay, world bow hit back.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I'm breaking the fabric of reality. Shit, this fabric got hands.
Yeah. That's the thing of like when people are getting to D&D for the first time, because obviously you sort of launch forward with, oh, so you can do anything, and it's like people being like, immediately being like, okay, well, I just pull out my knife and I stab him, and I'm like, okay, well, he fights back, and he's like, yeah, well, I do this, and I'm like, no, this is why we have the game rules.
Yes,
Because this isn't literally an improv session of, I pull out my everything gun and shoot you. It's like, no, we're going to put in some boundaries, shall we say, because boundaries are important.
This is why I enjoy the lore of 40k, where it's like, oh, I am the best of this, I am the best of that. Yeah, you still only got a 3-up save on the board, buddy.
Yeah.
Like 3 times out of 6, you're about to get fucking hit, kid. It's like, it doesn't matter, you're the greatest swordsman in the world. I still have a chance to fucking hit you with a goblin named Gorbo the fuckboy. I shit you not.
Can I ever join one of your D&D sessions though? Because I'd like to learn it sometime. Totally okay if you'd rather not. Probably wouldn't be any of the ones that we do on stream, because that's going to be starting. But if straight up, I made a D&D World of VR chat to play D&D with people, and I think the interest in that has waned for various reasons. Time being a large one. I didn't have a lot of time to tend to it, but if you're ever around and chilling, I can 100% improv some stuff and show you some of the basics. As long as it ain't vectors and 3D calculations and functions, I'm good with math, because WoW did 11th and 12th grade math bummed me out. Yeah, I'm not good on math. I'm not good at math either, which is another reason why 3.5 was too much for me.
That is my fucking ass that just like looks at a wall of numbers and goes, 84.
Yeah, that's not me. Again, that's why I like 5th, and I will say Roll20 probably definitely also helped with getting me into 5th while I was learning the rules, because it is a lot to learn, and the advantage of Roll20 is literally being like, okay, this is your strength and this is your level, cool, and it spits out the number you need.
Yep, it goes, and out it goes. It's the same way. It's the same way that Baldur's Gate is actually quite good, because the maths is hidden. You don't see, like, okay, there's definitely maths being rolled. Like, for example, if I'm using a barbarian and I go to swing at someone and I miss, you have a toggle option for queries of, oh, you missed this attack. Would you like to reckless? Because you rolled a 2, and you would need a X to hit this person. Would you like to roll again?
Oh,
And
hell yes.
you get to roll again. Like, I've got a toggle where it's my opportunity attacks and my crits. I get a toggle query of, would you like to smite that? I'm like, why, yes, I would.
Hell yeah! That's literally because that's how it is in real life. Because there are some D&D abilities that you can declare after the fact. So it's like the fact that it asks you in like that is great. Because again, it's built like 5e, which is why 5e.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much.
You might have liked 4th with all the maths already done ahead of time. I might have done, yeah. I haven't played 4th, but weirdly enough, we have a D&D board game that is based off 4th. And as people have said, 4th is based off like MMOs and stuff, and it's like, yeah. So I'd be interested to try it, basically.
I'm a bit of a stickler with this, because in my head, and because again, I will preface this, didn't have the best experience with the group I was playing this with, because again, I was a fucking newbie. I was clueless. But the issue arose of, okay, well, I rolled this much. Oh, but you have this modifier. Oh, okay, so what does that do? Gives you +2. Okay, so I get +2. Oh, but it's also in a dark room, so you get -4. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay, so
that was some of the third stuff that I didn't like.
That's in Pathfinder. That's in 4th edition as well. That's in 4th edition. It is like an MMO, but it can have a lot of issues.
Yeah,
a lot of issues.
So, I think ditching the whole like, this situation is giving you a minus and this situation is giving you a minus, to just straight up going, it is advantageous, you get advantage. way simpler system. Sure, it
Oh,
probably doesn't
God,
give
yeah.
you the level of detail that some people want, and my answer to that is, you're well within your right to keep playing older editions.
Yes.
You're well within
Unless-
or go play a different game. Just like how people who don't like the numbers and the mechanics and the combat, feel free to go play Fate. That is fine. You know,
Fate's a great
play what
game.
you want. There's more than one game in the world. Just because
Yeah.
D&D is the most well known, it doesn't mean that's the one you have to use. It
Yeah.
just so happens that it is the one that I personally really enjoy. I like 5th edition a lot.
Yeah, it is quite a lot of fun. There is that thing of like, okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay, so I've got an advantage. Oh, but here's 3 things of disadvantage. Okay, but this one thing gave me advantage, so it cancels out. And you just giggle away to yourself like a little fucking goblin.
Or, you know, you make yourself a little CC cyclone of hell.
Fucker.
You get a crowd control, and you get a crowd control, and you get a crowd control. Oh, what's that? You've only got one safe area to stand, and it's exactly where the fighter is? Sucks to be
Ah.
you!
POV, Zero, Roman, and fucking Kirak have said, Glory gets to punch you now.
When you have 3 spellcasters, and every single one of them has a separate crowd control spell.
Meanwhile, Roman is also focusing on 4 banishments.
Yeah.
I'm
Look,
gonna say
that again, that some people be like, oh, that sounds so broken. And it's like, maybe it is broken. But we're having fun.
Yes, it is. I will say
We're
that
having
banishment
fun.
is incredibly broken. Here's a incredibly powerful entity who has spent all this time trying to come to this realm, banished. Okay, it's an incredibly powerful spell. All well and good. I cast banishment at 5th level. 2 of your party members are gone. Uno reverse. I have
The Uno
spells too.
reverse is so real. I find, obviously, at the time we always panic and go, oh shit, but afterwards I laugh so much at the Uno reverse. Every time you do it, it just makes me laugh so hard. I'm like, yeah. I just got banishment to Baldur's Gate. It begins.
No! Actually, no, I'm fine with you having banished. Again, I love you, Narrowin. I hate playing against you. It's like, oh, Narrowin's on my side? It's like finding out, oh, what's this? In this game where we're trying really hard to sweat and do great, I've got Narrowin, K, and Spook. I'm fucking sorted, kids. Wait, who's our DM? Nemo? But no, it's, I will say as well, I think you can get up to level 14 in Baldur's Gate at present, and leveling is a bit slow, but at the same time, fights are... I'm definitely not doing like optimal builds. Like, I'm not going, oh, I have the rogue and the fighter doing this, so they combo together. I'm like, no, this battle mastery style makes sense for this character.
What's funny to me is that if we did make, like, squads based off characters that we had, in theory, we'd end up with good combinations anyway.
Yeah. The only disadvantage is you can only run party of 4. So the max you can have out at any given time is 4. However, very fun fact is, during the day you can return to camp without needing to take a long rest. And in doing so you can get, at the start of the game, you can get 6 party members, not including you. So what you can do is, okay, so there's a segment of the game where you go into one particular location, which is a very long dungeon. And towards the end of this segment of the dungeon, there is a very hard boss battle. So I used one party, which was the rogue, and the fighter, and the cleric, and Thane, who... When assassins don't have sneak attack, it is so funny watching them fight Thane. It's just like, I did a D4 plus 3 damage. Okay, you did 2 damage. I'm now going to kick your skull
I
in.
feel this in my soul. I feel this in my soul. What's that? You've suddenly removed all the chances to get my sneak attack? Oh,
What's wrong, my dear? Have you got problems?
no. The chart is spiritually on screen the chart of this cancels out this and this cancels out this. Oh no.
Charge tax. The charge tax.
Oh no. I feel like it needs to be part of like Blue Stream bingo of Blue brings up the chart in quotation
Blue brings up
marks.
circles.
Circles would be its own square.
Yeah.
Hang on. No. What's on Blue Stream bingo?
I'm not going to be that guy, but I take it that was your own work you were working on there and not a commission, yeah?
Yeah, this is my own work.
Okay, because I was about to say, it's like, please tell me you did not just, like, stop a commission to go and do
No, you know I wouldn't do that, no.
Because I'm just there, like, if I was like...
No, I was literally messaging someone about commission before we started, and I was like 2 seconds away from going live of like, I'm gonna start a commission, and they got back to me and was like, cool, I'm gonna pay you on Friday. I'm like, not doing that today then.
Understood.
So literally I changed the stream title last minute of like, guess I'm not doing that.
Speaking of commissions, not for yourself, don't worry, I'm not going to throw something at you. Maybe eventually, but I had a realization earlier today. Don't ask me why I was thinking about them. I'm sure it's going to be fine for them. I've never gotten commission work done of Nezanar and Gregor. I've gotten one of Nezanar,
So you have
but not of
Nezanar.
but not of Nezanar and Gregor together.
Aww.
Because I'm a dirty little fucking shipper, and I shipped those two when I originally had them together, going, oh no, they not only complement each other well, they're also cute. Fuck. See, those monsters won't set you free. I'll wait till they get a load of me. That song sits really thoroughly in my head as a Nezanar Gregor song. I would say I think I've got like the first 2 sessions for any one direction plotted out.
Neat. We playing this week, right? On the according to the channel.
No, I think I've edited it. I hope I did. Every time I've gone to edit it, I've been at work or something, but...
Now is a good time to do that then.
Okay, edit, because I know we don't have Ollie this week.
Oh, we don't have Ollie, right? I think I looked at it before and I was like,
Yeah.
9th. One person is missing.
Because I'm looking at it and I'm seeing no one is gone for the 23rd. Let's see, 19 and 16. Might be the 23rd. Because I kind of don't want to do the 16th if you don't have K. I kind of want
You want everyone there for the session one. That is understandable.
Yeah, I want everyone back, you know?
Yeah.
I'd
I'd go ahead and put a strike through the whole of the date to signify that we're not going to do a session that week then.
Fair.
Like
Yeah,
the whole line. Just to be
For
like,
those who are
nah.
curious, I basically make a post in the channel and say, okay, who's available? And I tick out those who are or not available.
Yeah, we have a little, our rule in the past is that if 2 people can't make it, we won't play, so that we can keep the story progressing. Because we have a lot of people in the party, but because we've not played for so long, I totally get wanting to have everybody here.
Yeah. And because Kay is like, oh no, you can run on the 16th, and I said, shut your fucking mouth.
Cool. Ooh, that means backup game this Wednesday. I say like that isn't fucking tomorrow. Jesus Christ. Art stream in the afternoon and backup game in the evening. I don't know, it may end up being more palia because I actually really enjoyed it.
Good.
Chill vibes. It's good chill vibes.
I better strike through those 2 and let's have it back. That works. Except not quite. Why did you do it like that? Okay. It's obvious which ones we're not doing then. So I basically think the 23rd, which is 2 weeks from now, will be our first session back.
Cool.
I've also joked and slash bullied Stacy in a way, right, where I say, okay, here's a plan. I'm gonna ask you to draw something for me for like, you know, a month or something, and then I will pay you for the commission. And she's like, you won't have to do that. I was like, yes, I will. I'll just pay for the rent for that month. Done.
Ta-da!
You literally don't have to pay rent that month. Enjoy. She offers to do it for me for free, and I'm like, no. And then she does it, and I'm like, I'm going to go get you a mocha. Basically. Also, one thing I will like from everything I've seen about BG3 so far as I've been playing is that it's not afraid to be like, narratively, this character could go away from the entire setting if this occurs. And I'm like, I'm all for that because it puts actual like risks on the character's well-beings. And also, like, can you make these two characters who do not fucking like each other get along? One of them might wake up dead. I might have nearly had that happen. I'm not going to say who it was.
Oops.
No, I talked it out of it. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Face with water bottle. To which two members of the camp actually went, "Aw, no fight to the death." Boo. And I'm like, guys.
Stop.
Also, Blue, I will say there's going to be more for your own phobias than anything else. The literal first like cinematic you'll do, you're probably gonna want.
Oh, I think I unfortunately know what this is because the opening cinematic was in the reveal trailer like 2 years ago. Yeah, I was not happy watching that because we were obviously like, oh, Baldur's Gate 3 by Larian Studios, hype, let's watch this. And yeah, I literally fucking recoiled because I was like, that came out of nowhere.
It came out of the Mind Flayer pool.
So yeah, I mean, I already know what it looks like, but yeah, I'll probably just close my eyes and not look at it.
Now it's in high definition.
Yeah, I hate that. Let's just have your opening cinematic of your game have eye horror. I'm sure that's gonna go well, but I mean, yeah.
In fairness, they're like, it's Mind Flayers. Here are the stakes. Be aware of them. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not afraid to hold punches of like, haha, D&D, happy fantasy land, of like, no. This is no, because this is the thing again about Baldur's Gate is that a lot of people don't understand is with D&D is that like every D&D game the DM can do what they want, but there is technically a quote unquote canon D&D which is the Forgotten Realms in Faerun. That is what this game is based on. Every DM has their right to either use or ignore whatever that is, because this is anything that is like an official D&D thing is in the official D&D setting, like the D&D movie was in Faerun. So Baldur's Gate 3 sticks to the Faerun rules and the Faerun interpretation of how things are. So in Faerun, there's Mind Flayers that do this to people, and it's awful.
Yeah, Mind Flayers are thankfully, universally, a very easy enemy.
Yeah, they're always awful.
They're always awful. They're always an easy like all for subjugation and just like going, hey, do you want to just like beat the fuck out of something that's absolutely terrible and go be heroes, kids? Off you go. Here's an easy, no quarrels, no moral ambiguity. Get they ass. Hey, Cor.
Hi, Cor. Just took your message. Ooh, I will watch that later, Nero.
What's he sending?
Video, YouTube video.
Vegeta. Also, speaking of, well, yes, it does have the D&D rules. It also is a D&D thing, and ergo has weird things happen in it. Like, a character will just show up and go, "Hi, I have this in my chest," and I'm not even. That's actually being vague because there's two characters that could be.
Oh god!
And you go. And you
If
go,
if I had a
you have
nickel for
one in
every
your chest?
time.
You have one in your chest, and it's like, yes. If I'm not careful, it will kill me and everyone around me. Also, please always revive me, because if you don't, boom. And I'm like, what do you mean, boom? There'll be an earth-shattering kaboom. That makes me very, very angry. One of the few voices I can actually do perfectly is the Martian from Looney Tunes. That makes me very, very angry. Also, I have not yet found Matthew Mercer's character that he is voicing, which is the legendary Min.
Yes.
But I kind of think he might end up just being in Baldur's Gate as like a, congratulations, you got to Baldur's Gate. Minsk is always somewhere near Baldur's Gate because it's funny. Also, I have to ask, I have to find out. I can't wait. Not as in like I have to find out like somebody tell me. I have to find out as in I have to get there and explore it. I have to find out if Matt also does the voice of Boo. His little space hamster. Because as we all know,
His miniature giant space hamster.
Miniature giant space hamsters are very correct. Because as we all know, one of the things that Matt is most beloved for is the fact that he can do animal voices. He can also do the voices of your lower intestine.
I'm not gonna ask.
Shout out to people who have watched some stuff that Matt has DM'd lately, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm quite happy with that. Probably give you another layer on your eyes. You'll be done. Let's say, did I get your eyes okay? You're a bit faded. Also, I will say I do like what they've done for some of the things, because they have gamified some things, but in a good way. So, like, Compelled Duel is just, if this fails the saving throw, it can only attack you. Not a disadvantage against other people. It's like, no, it can only just attack you.
That's fair.
Which is great when you're a paladin running in and going, "Hey, fucker, hit me."
Yeah, kind of like what you want to happen, basically.
Yeah, it is a legitimate aggro button. Whereas it quite legitimately is in D&D as well. I'm not saying it isn't, where you can just go, "Hello, wisdom saving throw. If you fail it, disadvantage on everyone but me. Come on." It's basically that, just like, yeah, no, they just punch you. They just punch you, that's it. Which I'm all for. They got another thing for like the Oath of Devotion. It's kind of Rebuke the Violently, where you channel divinity one person in your party, and for like 10 turns or something, like 2 or 3 turns, they take a d4 damage every time they hit that guy in melee. So it's not the same, nowhere near as powerful, but very useful. For example, oh, is that a horde coming at the wizard? Okay. Or, oh, that's a horde surrounding the barbarian? Shame. Just throw this on them, and just throw this on them and just go,
Darmok is not a dog Pokemon community game. I mean, I guess it could be a dog if he wants to be.
Everyone's allowed to be a dog if they want to be. You can dog if you want.
Oh, God.
You can bork your but if they don't bork, then they're no friends of mine. Stacy chose this. Speaking of, I'm an adorable little shit today. Because bless her, she's had the anxiety. So what I did was, I went out and I said, "Hi, I got you a flower, hun. For as long as this flower lasts, I will love you for plastic flower."
Aww.
I'm a cheesy piece of shit. I'm a cheesy piece of shit.
Cheese.
Cheese.
I should just get that soundbite put in.
Yeah, it might work. Okay, I think that is my 3 eradicators done-ish. Is there anything else? Oh, this one. This one thing.
This is
That's
what
the
I'm
most
referring to, by the way, guys.
Cheese.
Cheese.
See you, V. Have a good day.
Bye, V.
Also, there's a guy I watch, and I love him to death because he does a lot of really good Warhammer content, but he does like Total War stuff. And it's like, and he did like some of the games when they came out. He basically got like, you know, hey, you're a Warhammer content creator. If you get this many views on some of your stuff, you know, you'll get a bonus and these kind of things. So he was just like leading into all of him and his friends' communities, going, guys, I need a favor. And he does post some like really good advice-based stuff of like, oh, in this army you'll want to do these builds because these are not optimal builds. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to play the super mega meta, but like if you do it like this, you will enjoy using these mechanics. And bless him, I saw him post videos for D&D, and all I could think of is the fucking Avengers meme of "we don't do that here." It's like, here's how to play. We don't do that here. My man, I love you. We don't do that here. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We don't do that. Oh, here's the thing as well, because you might have been around at the time, Blue, when Paladin first got released, because I did end up playing Baldur's Gate when it did. I think it was back in like December of last year. Fuck, that was a lifetime ago. And when I did, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play Thane. I can finally play Thane as a Paladin. Huzzah! Went to do it. 10 minutes in, or 10 minutes into the open world, I was an Oathbreaker.
Really?
Because, so, here's the issue, right? One of your companions, she's not exactly
Lawful?
No, she's lawful. She's not good.
Alright.
Chaotic. She's the gift. She's the gift.
Oh, the gift.
And,
yeah.
and she has a moment where she's like, okay, it's me or them, kill them. And I'm there going, I need this character. Fuck, don't make me pick. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lie to these guys, and I'm gonna keep doing these things, because essentially, if you pick your background, so like, oh, you're a noble, or you're a paladin, or like these characters who have their own unique elements,
Mm-hmm.
doing certain things narratively gives you inspiration. Inspiration is a free reroll. And there isn't a cap to how many times you may apply it into one scenario. So if you have 5 inspiration and you really need to make a dice roll, yeah, keep rolling that bitch. You're like, okay, here's the DC. You rolled a 14, it's a 15 DC. Roll again, roll again, roll again, roll again. Because you might really need to make that happen. Have I done that? Yes. Do I regret it? No. But it wasn't in at the time, and it's like, oh, I'm immediately an Oathbreaker. But now, what they've done, which is quite cool, is if you're having a conversation with something as the Paladin, so, you know, you're not using one of the NPCs to talk to someone, you can actually end up choosing an option which is a Paladin option. So it's like, oh, this one supports your tenants, so you click this one, and it's like a Paladin specific one. It doesn't tend to have like a great deal of like different, shall we say, dialogue responses to otherwise good ones, but it's Like, you might get one or two where, like, you know, a particularly important NPC will go, "Ah, yes, so self-righteous and noble, aren't you just, you filthy paladin?" And it's like, yeah, I'm a filthy paladin. Filthy paladin who's owed the devotion, motherfucker. Have your ass. Have at thee, my good bitch. And you just run hands immediately, and it's great. But it's really funny. It's just like, it's also something to note, which is actually quite fun, is you can have characters straight up change their things based on how you talk to them, like their values over time. Like, you could do things and it's like, oh, hey, vampire, stop eating people. But, like, okay, look, we're gonna keep it a buck. You are literally necromantic. We cannot support what you do. So here's the alternative. And you show them the alternative, and they do the alternative. And it's like, am I a vegan vampire?
Vegan vampire? Love that.
It's like, yes, you are, you son of a bitch. Because you want to stay with us? Gotta be vegan. Because everyone shows up when it gets, like, ousted that he's trying. Basically, you find out he's a vampire because he tries to eat your neck. He tries to go at your neck.
Mm-hmm.
But he isn't trying to kill you.
He's just hungry.
Straight up, he's been living off of, like, oh, I've only been eating, like, you know, animals, you know, the wild boar here, or that kind of thing, or a kobold, and it's like, animal, but okay. And, it's like, the whole group just, like, stops and stares, and it's like, okay, you go at any of our nets, we're having your ass, and it's like, okay, fuck, fine, I won't eat any of you. But if you bring him out into battle and he bites someone while he's out and about, he gets the happy trait, and it gives him +1. It gives him +1 to all of his stats and all of his rolls for the day because he's fed. Hungry bitch. And he is being thirsted after by every single person on Twitter. And all I can say is go to therapy. Please. Like, there are so many that are better for you, sweethearts, darlings, and the few gays that I see. I'm sure Besso's in the corner. I'm gonna call him out. Besso, I see you. Don't. Besso, especially. There's a bear. There's a literal bear in the game, literally and figuratively. There you go. Like, quite literally. Why do that when all these options are here? And there's me just being like, okay, alright, I'm gonna say this because I get along with the character Gale very well, who is the wizard. Man. He wants Thane so badly, it is not even a joke. Like, you have a big celebration thing at one point, he'll be like, hey, do you wanna, like, have some things where sparks can fly later? And you're like, oh, maybe. And when I did that, another character went, hey, I'd be interested in you if you didn't already say you were going to go fuck Gale. And I said, wait, hold on, I did not say I was going to go fuck Gale. Hold on.
Wait.
No, you son of a bitch. That was not what I'm doing here. Hold on. Motherfucker. And after that again, like, you can meet him in like a later level zone, and he's like, oh yes, I'm trying this magic, do you want to try some with me? And he, even if you're not like a magical class, like I'm playing a paladin and I start to have to make intelligence checks, and I'm like conjuring cantrips, and I'm like, hold the fuck on. Now of course these are out of combat little puffs of magic, this is all these are. And he's like, how the fuck am I doing this? And all the while I'm looking at the actual game and I'm going, Gale, are your fucking fingers moving when the magic comes out of my quote-unquote hands? Gale, I swear to fucking God, if this is you trying to make me think I can do magic, you cute motherfucker, I'm gonna have you.
Aww.
You cute motherfucker, I'm gonna have you. In more ways than one. And I'm just like, Gale, I love you, buddy, please, I just want to be bros, okay? You're coming on too hard, man. Gotta take a step back. Believe me, there will be a campaign. Liberty will probably fuck Gale. I'm just saying. Liberty was going to look at Gale and go,
He is horned up right now.
oh, it's not even funny. It's not even. I'm like, my man, I get it. Like, Astarion's meant to be the thirsty one. He's the vampire. What do you want? Calm the fuck down.
It's literally haha vampire thirsty, haha, get it?
No, it's not even a joke. It's not even a joking game. I know I said the bit, but it's not even a joking game. I have heard something that I've seen it because people posted it without tagging spoilers, but it was really cute art of her saying it, but it's meant to be in like a really wholesome moment, and she's like, I want to wreck these stars. And you're the person who made it. Their character was just blushed red, like was holding like a stick or something, and the stick was shattered in their hand, like crushed underneath the lip. I'm just like, and at the same time, I'm like, no, that is a valid response to her saying that to you. That is very fair. It was very funny, but like, also, yes, there's been a lot of talk about, oh, there's all this, and you can do all these things, and and you can look at all these extra, definitely not things you can talk about in a stream option.
Ugh.
All of this can be toggled off, and it's the first thing you get shown up is, hello, would you like to toggle these elements off?
Yes,
You
please.
can toggle off these in any amount of settings that you want. Would you like to just toggle off the nudity? Do you want to toggle off the do you want to toggle off the bits flying? Do you want to toggle off bubba da bubba da bub? You can do them all. And I'm there going, thank you for the option. I'm a slut though. Moving on. It's very nice that the options are there because they're very aware. Y'all don't act right. However, we have buttons for those who do. Welcome back to the Coryanet.
Hello.
Also blue. It's something that the game lets you do as a bonus action, and it's the most powerful thing. You go back and all you hear is Taz go, I'm a slut though.
Yeah.
Fair. One thing that the game does let you do, blue, that's quite good, is the mechanic thing. It lets you shove as a bonus action.
Oh.
Shoving is great, because ledges exist.
Hey.
And it's like, there's literally a cutscene you can do where a character will come up to you and go, what do you think you're doing here? And he's at a ledge, and in one of the options is just shove him.
Punt.
What's worse is it's a Duragar, so yeah, it's just a boot. It's just, and you're going like on a fast boat, and it's just like goodbye. You are no longer our problem. Also, something they do quite cool is that like the other characters are like, oh, I'm a known or named character, or like I'm from X event or Y event, and it's like, oh, how are you like this then? Why are you a level 1 character? And it's like, oh, the tadpole has done something weird to me.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got one, and it's like, oh, how are we all conveniently level 1 characters, even though you literally are a titled hero, and like you are literally like a character from the Hells? What the fuck is all this? And it's like, well, no, tadpole bullshit.
Tadpole.
Your Honor, tadpole bullshit. Your Honor, League of Legends. Death. I've gotten those 3 eradicators done, and now I'm going to work on the chaplain, which is the most funny heretical unit that I think exists in the entire game. Because the Emperor fucking hated the notion of gods. His whole mindset was, if nobody worshipped chaos, then chaos would, like all the gods, would die up immediately. So nobody's allowed to worship gods at all. And the problem is that he didn't register that the chaos gods foresaw this issue with a lot of things. So a lot of them have positives as well. Like Nurgle. Nurgle is death, decay, and all those gross things. He's also rebirth, and cycles, and life, and healing, and enduring. So, doing any of these things, you inadvertently give praise to Nurgle. And if Nurgle ever wanted to influence you, he could come at you from his positives. Same with Khorne, being about, oh, you're about self-discipline in battle, and being a great warrior, and all these things. Well, that's a great deal of people. So, a lot of characters inadvertently give worship to Khorne. Fuck it. The fact that it's Warhammer, and this is a god of war, he's just sat there loving life. The fucker barely has to lift a finger to earn his paycheck for the week. So, he was like, okay. He didn't know this, so he was like, no gods. Do not worship any gods. Problem is, one of his sons literally saw him as one, and went around to a bunch of worlds and was like, hello, here is the edict of the Emperor being a god, because I believe he is a god. Because again,
oh god.
Because here's the problem, of course, like, I mean, if you've ever seen a single image of the Emperor, he's got a giant golden halo above his head, he's wielding a flaming sword. The guy couldn't look more like at least a prophet if he tried. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he couldn't look more like the bit if he tried. So, of course, you know, a lot of people go, oh no, you are a god. And of course you would say this, because only gods would deny their, deny their divinity. You know, this makes sense. This is just you testing us. And he's like, no, I swear to fucking God, I'm not one. Goddamn what I said.
Shit.
Yeah. So, he fucking hates the notion of gods. So when he killed his son Horus and got so badly mangled by him he had to sit on the golden throne, a lot of people began worshipping him because his sons weren't around all that much to go, hey, my dad didn't like gods, stop fucking worshipping him, you absolute mongoloids. So the Emperor may or may not be a god. He certainly has a lot of godlike powers. He can summon essentially his own equivalent of demons and heal them with holy prayers and golden shines, and he can telepathically reach out across the warp and do a lot of really cool sanctified power stuff. And it's like, shit. So a chaplain to me is hilarious because the Space Marines, like the Emperor, one of these Space Marine guys, Lorgar, he essentially becomes his faction of the evil Space Marines, Shock and Horror, becomes an evil one. So what I'm about to say happened. Was like, oh, the Emperor is a god. I have literally written all these edicts. I have studied religion across all these different things. All these people look for these ideals. These are things that the God Emperor provides. So he did this for like 100 years. Now bear in mind, when he was first arrived onto this world, he was revered damn near like a god. They just didn't do the actual praying thing. That's a key thing. The Emperor was like, ah, yes, you're all cheering for us. That's all good because, well, we did come here and liberate you and we're bringing you into the stars.
Yeah.
So, 100 years passes, bearing in mind that Space Marines can live into the 1,000, provided they're either competent or get a little comfy job. As in, like, oh, I train people on the home planet. That motherfucker is going to live till he's like, 1,500 kind of thing. Because they don't really die, they just get slow, and well, that just means you'll eventually die. So he shows up, and the Emperor realizes what he's been doing and goes, hey, cool. Hey, all your brothers, can you come to this world that he's on? And they all show up, and the Emperor goes, cool, I'm about to mindfuck all of you. And the entire legion of the guy who treats him like a god fell down on one knee. And then he went, okay, fantastic. Everyone else, cull the fucking planet. Right now. And he just had them, he had the Ultramarines, I believe it was, wipe out the entire planet because Gilliman was like, oh, okay, Dad, you said so, so I'll do it. And proceeded to do so. It's no surprise that Lorgar held a fucking grudge. Needless to say, Lorgar at that point was like, dad's not so great. My dad's not all that. My dad's not shit. I don't like my dad no more. And he's in this really unfortunate predicament where he's like, hey, all of you guys who worship the Emperor as a god, you're reading my book, the book I fucking wrote. And I hate that you're reading this book, you motherfuckers. So now he's trying to actively call as much of that kind of stuff as he can, but it's still hilarious. And the chaplains are all here, and they're like, oh, we shout the great edicts of the Emperor for all these zealous bastards, and oh, kill the demon, purge the unclean, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's just... The Emperor will fucking hate this guy, and I find it so funny. Also, to pull away from this, you are drawing a floof. A floof.
A floof in the fit.
A floof in a fit.
Summer outfit, even though summer's basically over now.
Summertime. It's always summer in our hearts. We are always Kenough.
Yeah, I very rarely draw blue in clothes. In fact, I think I've basically never done it. But for context, stream is that probably like 2 weeks ago, mid-move, my mum literally grabbed me and was like, we need to go shopping because you have a wedding to go to, so you need to get a dress. And I was like, fine. And while we were there, I not only found a dress, but I also found like the most outrageous summer outfit, which I became immediately obsessed with and sent a picture to the squad in of like pink shorts with this pink like shawl and the tank top, and I'm literally drawing blue in that outfit because it's the most... It's a good fit, it's a good summer fit, and yeah, I was just immediately taken with it. I found this pink and purple, like, very thin, almost shawl sort of cover thing, and then I basically was like, I need to find a fit to go with this because I actually really love this. So now I'm drawing, literally this is less a drawing of blue and actually a drawing of me because it's blue wearing my clothes, and blue is me, so.
I am the frustrated, because I went to grab paints off of Stacy's desk. Bear in mind, she's not painted in several days, and a lot of these lids are only partially closed.
Uh-oh.
Stacy, I wouldn't give a fuck, but I bought these paints. It happens. It's only paint. Paint can be replaced. Paint can be replaced. Frog is forever.
Yay.
Froggies eternal.
It's dead paint. Oh no.
It's almost.
There are ways to revive paint.
Yeah, there are. Like, I can put a medium in there to help, like, liquefy it again and that kind of stuff. I did see a thing about, like, hey, this is how you, like, undo a paint scheme on something. Like, you do this particular thing, and I was like, huh, interesting. That makes my life a lot easier. Because, essentially, you just get a tub of the stuff, and you get, like, a little, like, jar with a lid. Put a bit of the stuff in it, just enough to cover the mini. Put the mini in. Close the lid, leave it overnight. Take it out, soapy water, warm, not hot, warm soapy water, and a toothbrush, and just scrub off any of the excess, and it will come apart as well, and it'll let you rebuild it. Which I'm going to do because one of my most recent minis I've been painting are these ones, which are essentially they're like a melee form of frontline troop. And I'm basically naming them after one of the characters that I have as like a, hey, this is the cool character, and these are his cool, like, you know, bodyguard unit, shall we say. Because they all wield hammers, he wields hammers, his title is the Hammer of Nocturne, all cool shit. But some of the intercessors I have that will go in that unit are old minis. Old minis, like some of the first I ever painted from like November of last year, and I'm like, oh, I could do you so much better. So I'm gonna get that stuff, dump one or two of them in at a time to get them cleaned off, and just carefully and methodically rebuild them.
You should keep a couple for prosperity so you can actually see your progression.
Yeah, there's one of them that is just the worst, but also he's a model that like the weapons that he has equipped, I would never really like use. I just did it because it looked okay. But God, he does not look. I have no shame in saying it. He does not look good. But I can look at the minis I've done recently and reflect and go, God damn. Like I'm probably going to do one miniature recently with his exact same gear and just go, these are the two. This is like November of last year, and this is an hour ago. Speaking of, I'm going to go into the another room because I have to go and grab minis that have been primed. BRB. Behave, chat, or I'll ban you all.
How's it going, guys? How's everybody's evening going? I put maybe pixel art. Fine, be that way. I put maybe pixel art in the stream title, but pixel art probably isn't going to happen because like I'm into it. I'm into it.
You reuse core? You ruse?
Ruse. Roto Raggy.
Bro, Raggy, I'm
God
around
damn
to
it.
get red. Rogger's in the rat. I only saw it recently, but it's one of my favorite skits is where I saw one and it was just something was written in the most terrible, like hard to speak jargon ever, and he just said, "Elevator this way." I was like, "Oh, where we go?" And like Shaggy something like, "Flux, what did you just do, Scoob?" Right, reading. I just read it. Obviously. And it's just like Scoob, like Shag having an existential crisis, going, "You can read like crazy shit perfectly? What the fuck?"
Was the chaos talking? Do you actually expect chaos to spell properly? Wow.
I can tolerate chaos. I refuse to tolerate illiteracy.
It's just like sticks it, that's all.
So Broody has become a little bit notorious in the circuit I play in because
Yeah.
he has now withstood a demon Primarch for like a whole turn of combat after getting lit the fuck up by a bunch of other stuff, which is impressive. He has killed the Swarm Lord in single combat. He has smashed through a bunch of... They're the equivalent of orcs dreadnoughts, but they're just a bunch of orcs in a big old tin suit. Like, you know, one guy's holding the arm, one guy's holding, like, the claw on the other side and all that kind of thing. And it is just a box knot. It's just, like, really adorable. Just ran through all of them. Just went like a bowling ball through pins. And, I'm kind of excited for what he'll do next time I get to play with him. And his upside down box that he's been entombed in. I still find that hilarious. I put the coffin in the wrong way up. So every time he misses... No, guys, he's just upside down, honestly.
He's just upside down. He can't see very well.
Leave him alone. This little guy just believes in the Emperor. What? Why did my head just go? Just like the most like robotic deep voice ever. Wow, you really just wouldn't have issue with me. I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little creature. You're gonna really start fights with the little creature on my birthday? I'm a little boy and it's my birthday. Come on. Wonder if that was family. Oh, by the way, that was funny. I told family like a week after the fact that I got in a car. Like, oh, by the way, I'm deciding on looking at this car. This car in particular. Everyone around me has really heavily emphasized I should buy this car. I was like, oh, well, if you like it, go for it. And I already fucking bought it.
I already bought it.
It's like...
I fooled you! I don't need your validation!
I don't need your validation. This was... You fools! This was my attempt the entire time. I'll trick you next time, family.
Meh.
Speaking of, where is Sadie?
She's downstairs.
Oh yeah, because you guys have 2 different floors now.
Yes, because we have a house.
Who's?
Yes, her favorite sleepy spot is in the living room. She has, in the last sort of like 3 days, actually started venturing upstairs, mainly because she's been allowed, because obviously for the last month, upstairs has been where the bulk of the redecorating has been going, so there's been like child gates in the form of boxes blocking the stairs of like, don't come up here because there's wet paint and dangerous things.
Yeah.
But now she's actually allowed up, and it took a day or 2 of us being like, look, you can go up now, look, you can go up the stairs, and now she has actually started wandering up of her own volition.
The other side is like she's an old cat and you're making her go up the stairs. She's just probably going to go, fuck it.
Yeah, she's like, I can't be asked. Yeah. To be fair, she has been up here twice today. I will say that my door is shut to try to stop some of the noise coming through to Spooks. Obviously, Spook is asleep.
I was going to say, is the room a little bit further away from Spooks now?
Yes.
Nice.
So hopefully he won't be hearing me as much. But yeah, if Sadie has come upstairs, I won't have known, because I will probably, unless we are in like peak heat conditions, keep that door shut for the purposes of soundproofing.
Very fair. Also, Blue. While it's not fully confirmed it was his, the notion that Thane dispelled a giant arcane barrier created by potentially Tullius with a spell designed to look like a hammer. I find it very funny, but at the same time I know full well that there's going to be a character in setting that goes, you broke it with what?
You broke it with what?
With a hammer. Keep up, come on. So anyway, I the entire time as well, for folks who don't know, we basically found potentially an ancient wizard's collection of memorabilia from somebody they lost. It's the easiest way to describe it, because I still think that's what that is.
Yeah. I think it is. That is probably the best way to describe it.
And our beloved wizard Astor is looking at it going, wow, they really snuffed somebody out so thoroughly. Fuck. I'm like, yep. And Thane's sitting there going, yep.
It's very both sad and funny, just because we know what it means, but because the party know the significance of a lot of this, and the people that the party are with don't. There's so many just exchanges of look happening in this entire segment.
Yeah.
Just the party keep constantly looking at each other, being like, ooh.
And then there's fucking Astor like, well, yeah, I mean, he is an elf, so like, you know, he's probably still around, like, if he's down here. And like,
we're all just
yeah,
like, yes, elf.
Yeah. Elf.
Yes.
Thane, who had no idea that Tullius took the guise of an elf. Yes, definitely an elf.
Yes, that's why he's so long-lived, and we keep thinking that there's a chance they'll be down here, because they're an elf.
Speaking of, do we want to be like, if we do meet him, go, so, don't kill us. Because if you do, daughter might be a little grumpy with you. Just gonna say.
It's one of those things where you don't, it's like, it's hard to judge because we literally don't know them, so it's one of those things of like, if you bring up the daughter, is it like, it's either gonna pacify or immediately put on the aggro of just like, what do you know about my daughter? And it's like, no.
Well, I know your daughter is a wonderful... No, who am I kidding? She's a piece of shit, but she's our piece of shit.
Yeah, if we do encounter them, I think it's unlikely we will, but if we do encounter them, I would actually be the first to sort of shove Zal forward, because it's like, here, you've got the special mind link with their daughter. You let them know.
Yeah, it's like, hey, buddy, you're the most like his daughter, and you're the one who worked the hardest to save his daughter. If any of us are getting the pass here, it's gonna be you, Chief. In you fucking go, son. Best of luck. Don't fucking die or I'll be pissed.
Especially since we'll be soon to follow after if you do.
Yeah. It's like, no, Tullius, don't kill him. Why? Because then you'll have to kill all of us, and we really don't want to have to die.
It's
Also,
just gonna be that thing of just really quietly, if you kill him, Hassan's gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Might at least make him pause.
Might make him hesitate.
Yeah, just a bit.
Also, I was really terrified of actually doing that divine sense and that detect good and evil because I was like, I feel like if I do this, I'm about to get flashbanged.
Yeah.
But by doing so and like essentially serving as canary, going, oh, there isn't a high intensity of celestial energy here, which we know from like whenever we met up with Prism, whenever she was about. It would be, oh, there's an immense effort of Fey energy in the area. Literally radiating off her. Damn it!
Hold up, very off topic. When did Quest Princess get a boyfriend? Quest Princess? Whomst?
God damn it, I dropped my mini again. Stop falling out my hand, you whore. Who are you talking about, Core?
It's not a boyfriend, it's Sword and Shield. I don't know what you're referring to! Core, you are terrible at providing context!
And Core, in this friend group, you're terrible at providing context.
The amount of times you say stuff, and not even in stream chat, but like in general as well, and I'm like, what?
I look at it and go, I think I can see like 2 of the hurdles that you've jumped. Where's the other 6? I'm sorry, but that Snorlax is me with the chicken nuggets.
We all just want nuggies.
Yeah. It's not even posted, Core.
You're on Reddit again. God damn it.
Core, there's your first problem. Also, again, yeah, I have no idea who the fuck that is.
It took me a hot second because of the style. It's Monster Hunter.
Right.
No, that's we do know who she is, but we're used to seeing her with short hair.
No, she always has that short hair. The girl on the left.
Oh, I'm referring to the girl on the right.
Right, sorry, yeah.
The girl on the right is our quest giver lady, but in the game we're used to seeing her with short hair.
Yes, and the girl on the left is the sword and board girl.
Yes.
That's where Core. There's
again,
like
you're so bad at providing context. You went very off topic. So you knew that because we weren't even vaguely talking about Monster Hunter, so you knew you were changing. How were we supposed to know that Quest Princess was meant to refer to somebody in Monster Hunter?
Like, if you said Quest Princess from Monster Hunter, we probably would have gone, oh, do you mean blank?
I love the village elder at the back doing the wah ha ha anime laugh.
Yeah, village elder's allowed to do all the, Core, when you don't give any other fucking context, man.
When we're literally talking, when we are a group of friends who regularly play multiple MMOs, D&D, Baldur's Gate, just any sort of fantasy RPG, the term Quest Princess could refer to so many things.
You're garbage, kid. You're garbage. Joking. Also, Blue, I can't help but notice the way that you're drawing it in herself in clothes that you have worn previously is the same way that Stacy drew DM in my Paladin hoodie with my
Aw.
DM with my Pokemon hoodie underneath it. Yes, I have two things with hoods on them. I don't care.
So
And
that
when
they
it's
can be
cold,
extra shady.
Yes. How else am I meant to? Okay, one hood doesn't fully cover my head. Okay.
How else am I meant to intimidate and brood?
I'm not brooding. Okay, I am brooding because I'm a dragon, but no, not that kind of brooding.
We don't mope, we brood. Knights who don't mope, we brood. I was brooding.
Oh yeah, Nimona. God, that's a good fucking show.
It's a good film.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if none of you have watched Nimona,
Do it.
it's about an hour 20.
It's just a good film. It's a one and done, and it's very well done.
Just put it on while you're like, making a dinner and eating the dinner, or like watching a fit, or like not watch. Sorry.
Put on put on a film while you're watching a film.
I mean, some of you ADHD bastards kind of have to do it. So
Curls.
says I, the ADHD bastard.
Look, we both self-diagnose ADHD, but I don't think I could watch a film with another film on.
True. So I have had the grown-up, scary, necessary talk of, hey boss, so there's this thing I have to do like once or so a week with a person.
I hate to tell you this, you have 100% told this story before.
Not on stream. No.
Oh, if you're
but,
fine with sharing it on stream, it's fine because it's personal.
but I was like, hey, yeah, so this happened, and I kind of wanted to go to this for it, and he was like, oh, okay. I'm 100% for it. However, gotta check these things for me. Like, cause again, let's be fair. I want to help. I want to like support, of course. And even though it will get in the way of a bit of the business, like, please keep pursuing this in the meantime. And I went, okay, but the therapist said, no. I can already tell that you are getting stressed over just the notion of trying to balance the work and this. Do you want to hold this off until we have a session like in the evenings that comes free? And I'm like, yes, please. So it's kind of on hold for now.
Okay. It's good that your therapist is immediately like, this is stressing you out, so we're going to address it.
Yes.
Me listening to a stream and a video while playing a game. I can do a stream with a game and a video with a game, but not like a stream and a video. It's multiple audio sources basically. Because if I'm watching like a stream or a video during a game, generally the game sound is turned down.
Yeah, one of them has to go. Or it's like me where I watched basically I want to say 80% of season 1 and like 40% of season 2 that I watched of Critical Role I watched while playing Total War Warhammer.
Yeah.
Because it's
Because
something
I watched all of season 1 because I was
audio
at
cues.
uni. Once I'd finished uni, suddenly I was unable to keep up with Critical Role because I watched all of season 1 fine, but season 2 and season 3 I've not even touched.
Very fair, honestly, very fair.
Because basically it would be doing this, you know. I could happily sit and watch Critical Role while doing this, but I stream it now, and it's like, well, I can't stream with Critical Role playing in the background.
You could, just not for a very long period of time.
And I want to keep doing this for a long period of time.
Understood. There we go then.
Oh, hi, Hope! How's it going?
Oh, hi, Hope. Ball.
Going good. How about you? Pretty good. I've only recently come back to streaming. I basically took a month off to move. This is literally only like my second day, sort of like officially back.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Ah.
It's the perfect time to pop in and say hi then, Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Core did a health check. I'm gonna feel so many things crack.
Crackle, crackle, crackle.
Oh, that was the center of the shoulders. Ooh. Also, 25 minutes left. Ish. Oh. Water.
I believe you said before that you had like exams and things. Are they all finished now? Are you all done?
I hope you did well with them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you still got exams going on, it's a bit of an oddity at this time, but if you gotta do them, you gotta do them. Hope them all work out. What I'm doing with this as well at present is I'm using, essentially it's the technicals, it's the contrast, it's the dyeless pigment, and you just mix it with, it's not actual water, so like, you know, it doesn't fuck with the texture or anything, but it's just basically like dyeless pigment you can put in with some heavier or thicker paints to just lighten them out and make them that little bit, you know, evocative. And it does help quite a lot. It does make them a little bit liquidy if you're not careful. It's like a really good balancing art you gotta do. So by the time like you get the first layer of a paint you want to do on a mini done, you can just go over it with the second then. And it's nice because it kinda sits everywhere it's meant to that little bit better. Quite nice for it. It makes the life a little bit easier overall. And I'm going over with a lot of my base paint right now, which is just a very dark green, and I'm not too heartbroken about if I have any that, like, you know, it leaks across or wipes across onto another surface, because I'll be going in with a lighter or a thinner brush later and covering up what we're doing. So it's kind of just like a little tender approach after the fact, but for now we can keep tallying on. I say with a knife in my hand and a pen in my mouth.
Oh my god.
What? I couldn't let down the paintbrush, but I also had to... Also, I'm a giant fucking nerd, and I wrote the word Melta on a bit of parchment that my Eradicator has on their thing, and I really enjoy it. It looked kind of cool.
It looks very pale pink in that picture, but in this one it is very much a hot pink.
Thing I did as well immediately after going over some of the sections is I dried off the brush entirely, and then I just like brushed back over the areas to just try and help get the liquid out but leave the dye in. So like it leaves the color in, but it doesn't let the liquid be too thick and catch the area essentially. So, you know, it's not like, oh, this little recessed area now just looks like it's been fiddled. rather than it's been painted, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And go from there. I'm kind of happy with how I'm doing this one now. Because I moved on to one of my intercessors. I'm just putting a layer of black on the chaplain. I'm going to leave him like that for the night. Because I have to go over a reference with him of like some Salamander chaplain references to get some ideas for how people have done them. Because there's some really creative bastards on the internet, and all original ideas don't exist. It is a lot of fun though when I go somewhere and I pull out my Gravis Captain. That's my big bulky captain with the flaming sword and the big flaming brazier on top of his head. And everyone goes, "Oh wow, let me pick him up." And like they pick him up by the base and they look at him and they're like, "Oh, this mini is so heavy, but I know he's plastic. You put so much shit on him." And I'm like, "Absolutely." It's kind of fun to bring them when they're not the main center of my army, because it's basically I put them down in this location. You either have to commit so much to kill them, or you have to leave them alone because they're slow. Because they are slow, like they can't do all that much, but they're also really hard to kill. So it's like, okay, do you want to invest your heavy guns in going over here and killing these guys, which means they're not shooting my long-range, dangerous guns like Listy the Ballistic, who goes just from a distance, it just goes and just shoots into someone's chest? Or do you want to hold back and try to take on something else with them? Because that's what the guy did. He basically just had to avoid them the whole game. It's like, I can't touch those. Because he shot into the Eradicators, and everything's on a d6. If something is tougher than your gun strength, you have to roll a 5 or a 6 to hit them. If it's double their toughness, i.e. strength, this is where math gets a bit much, but if it's way tougher, it's like you have to roll a 6 on a d6 to hit them with something. So this guy was like, oh, I've got all these strength 5 guns, which are good because they're very strong versus like standard toughish guys, and they tend to punch up relatively well. But these guys are toughness 6, so they're just a bunch of chunky boys. And he's just there going, how many wounds went through from my 60 shots? None. Because none of them got through on my chunky boys. And he went, I'm going to stop shooting those guys and anything that's like them. I'm like, good man. Good man. Shoot everything else I have. Because I moved them up and I was like, I know the guns that these units should have. These are all just like a bunch of Gatling guns, which are great if you're shooting things with paper armor. These boys are chunky. Chunky. It's the difference between there's like the Terminators who have like all their really high like saves and everything else, and like about a bunch of great resistances. Terminators are like paladins and fighters with high AC, where it's like it's really hard to punch through, but if you punch through, you're probably doing damage. Whereas with this, it's like, yeah, I don't care how hard you try to shoot me, I'm just too durable. I'm going to bounce everything you throw at me. You've probably seen it as well, Blue. Potentially not. But there was a stream going around where Matthew was playing Baldur's Gate 3 with the devs.
Yes, I did
and
see this.
He built a ladder of 47 crates to Misty Step into a castle.
Yes, I did see that. It's so
and the devs
good.
and the devs are just sat there going, "That's why we make them so stackable." To be like, okay, here's a puzzle. How are you going to get through it? And there's just Matt, who has done that for so many years with his D&D players, and just going,
Time for the
And I'm
fun.
and I'm like, yes. Also, it's fun because Matt gets to play,
Yes.
and I love letting Matt. I love watching Matt play. I love watching him. It's so fun. It's so wholesome. It legitimately is rejuvenating watching that man play a game. Because yes, he DMs it, but bless him, he's always stressed. He is always stressed because he's like, I'm so close to fucking up. I know I am. Something will go terribly wrong. Because he's a dungeon master. All DMs have that.
Yep.
So just letting him just sit at a table and go, hi, I'm Blow the Fuck Ass, and I'm gonna have the time of my life. The first time I got to be a player in Exandria, I pissed off a roof in a pissing contest.
Yes. Oh god, I did actually watch that.
And I'm there like, meanwhile, while he's playing alongside the person who voices She-Ra, just, oh, so good. Fucking makes me giggle every time. Honestly, she does look cute. She does look very adorable in that outfit.
It's because it's a good outfit. I don't care what anyone else says.
Like I made the mistake. I had the wardrobe malfunction yesterday. Of I wore a shirt that's a bit too tight at work. So basically, the entire day at work, I was like, "Why am I so fatigued and tired? Oh, I'm slightly constricted in a way that's really uncomfortable.
I can't breathe.
Oh, what's the issue? I can't breathe." So when I got home, I was like, "Stacy, yes, shirt," and she's like, "Ooh." So immediately just threw that one off. Grabbed this one that I got out of I'm forgetting their name. We've talked about them before. Cute little gay shop. So something.
Don't
Escaping
know.
me. Soap something. Sobek, I think, or Sobeans or something like that.
I don't
One
know
of
what
those.
you're referring to. I don't know if this is a chain or an indie shop near you.
They're kind of an indie shop. I think they have a little bit of a chain. I think Curls has gone to them before as well. I think we did mention we have to get you at one eventually. But essentially, I went in there. This is like a small in that shop, and I just threw this on. And I'm like, it is airy, it is roomy, and my arms can do a little wave in them because there's a little bit of loose fabric at the sides of the arms. It is heaven. And I've just been sitting
Little shop, yay!
in little shop of gay all the way, every single day. Yeah. I did realize as well after the fact that the last session of D&D we played that it was literally Thane was doing the thing from Aladdin of going through the Cave of Wonders and going, don't touch fucking anything. I still think he's a bit valid for doing that because it's like,
Oh, I would say so. I would say so.
because it's like, okay guys, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If he doesn't want you to take it, this is the guy who can just put a kill switch on something. I swear to fucking God. Why it's why like Astra's like, wow, I can't believe they were able to write this person out, and I'm like, yeah. Now think of how dangerous the guy who can remember her is. Please, for the love of God, I have to transfer across to you how dangerous this son of a bitch is. Please. I need you guys to actually take this seriously. And it's like, Thane, I can't look at Chaos and say this, I'm gonna look at her wife. You just go, hey, heads up, no one's allowed steal things. No one's allowed. No one's allowed. You know the Markiplier thing of in the back rooms, jingle jangle.
Jingle, jingle, jangle, jingle. The back rooms. I said your favorite word. The back rooms. Jingle, jangle.
Jangle. I said your favorite word. Loot. Jingle jangle. I said your favorite word. Money. Jingle jangle. I said your favorite word. Your wife. Jingle jangle. I have talked with somebody about the potential of having a fun little, essentially they're like a 500-point game called Boarding Action, in which you play essentially a tiny force that's boarding a ship in 40k essentially. It's got its own rules and everything else in it. And I've talked to herself about it and like, wouldn't it be fun if we could actually like do Boarding Action, but like just your really elite Corn guys versus my guys with Adrax and like have a little bit of fun? Because Adrax is my hammer guy, and she's like, I mean, fuck it, if we ever have a weekend or an evening to do it, we probably fucking should, because it'd be fun. Yes. But we would do it where, like, we wouldn't have, like, a limit to the turns. We would just, like, forces just keep coming on and of our army, but we start with 500. And it's like, who's going to be, like, the last man standing of that 500 squad, you know?
Mm.
And the fun things like that. Boarding Action was also kind of cool because they used it to, credit to them, they used it to test out like some of the things they were going to do in 10th edition to see how people would react to them. Of like, hey, you can't shoot this unit, or you can shoot this unit, but all the attacks will only be allocated to models you can see. So it's not like, oh, I did all this damage, I wipe out your entire unit. It's like, no, you did all this damage, congratulations, you killed 2 guys. Because only 2 guys were exposed. Which I prefer. It makes sense. It's kind of like Space Hulk Core in a way. It's like a spiritual successor to Space Hulk, but on a very small scale, which I kind of like that it is. I like that it's on a small scale. It's not really focused on, like, say, so to give you an idea, Blue, Terminators were primarily used in Space Hulk, which are like, oh, you're super elite, you can send it to the depths of the ship. This is just, hey guys, we found a ship. We're gonna go board it. Okay, where are your Terminators and all your... We have Jeff. We're just going in, okay? We're just going in with the guys we have. Because we're not going to wait for Terminators. We're going to take 6 fucking, stellar years to get over here. Just get the fuck on the ship. We've all got breathers. We've all got helmets. Just get on the fucking ship. Also, I have had the delight of playing that new little Space Marine game, the one that's essentially Doom, but for 40k.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun little game. Really enjoy that one. Because, I forget the name of the actor who voiced him, but it is an actor who just really likes 40k who got to do it, and he's having a lot of fun.
That's good. We like when people are just genuinely having a good time.
Yeah. It's like how everyone's talking about the new thing with TMNT, where they're like, no, Seth Rogen actively made sure people were not stressed in the production of this film, deliberately making sure that there was no crunch. It's like, oh yeah, no, this film's for me, so it comes out when it's ready.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Seth Rogen, what are you doing being a moral compass? He's like, no. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to voicing one of the aliens from the new Invincible series that's coming out later this year. I can't fucking wait for that series. Oh, it's gonna be. I'm gonna binge the first Incredibles season again just to enjoy it. And I'm still surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm just happy that we've got all the characters who are coming out for Mortal Kombat that are. So we have. I mean, this is a good year for fighting games. We got Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, both coming out the same year. And the Mortal Kombat game is like, oh, okay, who's the guest characters? Because sometimes they can be a bit shit, and it's like, oh, here's the pack for the one character. Oh, here's the Leatherface pack just for Leatherface kind of thing. Here it's like, oh, here's Homelander, that smarmy, disgusting son of a bitch. Here's
Never watched that
Omni-Man.
series.
You're better off, honestly. It's not to your taste. I'll be quite sincere.
Oh, fair enough.
It's one of those ones where like you could watch a 12-minute video deep diving the comic. It's all you'll need to know.
Right.
The actor who plays Homelander does a fantastic job playing a living piece of shit. TLDR, someone makes essentially a superhero drug, and all the superheroes conveniently work for this megacorp called Vought, who is modern day Disney. And hey, we're just going to keep shoving our propaganda in your face and all of our materials and all our products and all our this and all our that. And you're just going to keep watching it and you're going to keep consuming. And yeah, everything has the 7, which are our primary heroes in it. No. And then there's the boys who are just, hey, we're going to kill all of them. And that's it. That's the context.
Oh.
And the boys are just guys. They're just people. Some of them have...
They're just normal men.
They're just ordinary men. They're absolutely
Just normal
not.
men.
They're absolutely not normal men. That would be a huge disservice. Because some of the characters, there is one character, and her primary thing is she's mostly a mute, and she got given superpowers, and she can basically regenerate from damn near anything. Which, credit to the novels can have a little bit of a you're making me watch this kind of vibe to it, and at the same time, no one who is evil doesn't get their comeuppance. Everyone who does something fucked up, yes. Core said it best. So you might remember there was a guy, I forget his name, but he's a wonderful actor. He was one of the main villains of I Bent My Brush. How the fuck did I bend my brush?
Oh no.
Anyway, it's fine. He's one of the main villains of Breaking Bad. He was one of the. I think he was literally the guy who ran the chicken, like a KFC equivalent in the setting, which is hilarious. He just ran like a really small time KFC equivalent, but it was a front for drug running. In this, he plays one of the leads of Vought, which is the company that runs everything. And Homelander, being a piece of shit, wanted to get more attention and get more people looking at him. So he distributes the Compound V, which is Vaught's compound, which, by the way, Compound V and Vought are from somebody who has, how to say the name without getting DMCA'd. Somebody who was from a negative German political party from the 1940s who received amnesty in the US for his scientific improvements. These being Compound V. Credit to the series, it does not hesitate to go, wow, these people are a piece of shit. So at least it doesn't pretend, you know?
Fair enough.
But it is the setting of, what if superheroes were a little bit more realistic, as in, if they existed in our world, would they be like, how would they be made? Oh, if they're made by a company, that company would have patented the shit out of them, marketed the shit out of them, all that shit. And this particular actor, who is notoriously good for his really good speeches, he played one of the villains in the newest Far Cry games that came out. One of his gifts, you've probably seen it online, was, I was acting. Or was I? Because he can go between playing a really like polite and gentile person to, oh, that's a lunatic.
Ah,
He
one of
can do that
those.
shit. Oh my dear, we know exactly what we're talking about there, don't we? Sorry. Anyway, moving on. Essentially, he's a Superman clone if Superman was a bastard. And way more psychologically fucked up. He's also, hilariously, the weakest Superman clone. Because, safely to say, aside from anything DC actually has, the strongest Superman clone is Omni-Man, who is also in this. Omni-Man is what happens if Kryptonians had the same combat mentalities as the fucking Saiyans.
Ah,
But you take the notion of, hey, they regenerate after every battle from near mortal injuries. They will recover in a few days at best, and they're really competent. And you might remember, I want pictures of Spider-Man. You might
Yes.
remember himself, that wonderful man who has done so much wonderful voice acting, J.K. Simmons.
yes.
He voices Omni-Man.
Ah,
He does it very well. I would recommend Invincible. It has a few gory scenes, but they're not. It's not being done to go, oh, look at the guts in your face. Ooh, ooh. It's to go,
Yeah.
oh, that was somebody who can punch a moon in half punching a person.
I think a few people know this about me. It's very weird in that I am kind of okay with gore. Actually, it's very bizarre. There are some things that are a really hard no, but blood and gore I'm kind of okay with
Yeah.
in certain scenarios.
It's
I think when it becomes unnecessarily over the top, it's like just ugh.
yeah, there's a scene where one person who is basically bulletproof and indestructible Superman durability grabs another one and stands in front of an incoming subway train, grabs him by the back of the head. I would not have wanted to be on that subway.
Oof.
Ooh. Subway, don't eat after that scene. Ooh. But it has a few scenes which are nasty, but a lot of it is very well paced or written. But Omni-Man is a fucking monster when he wants to be. It's unfortunate because a lot of people were very good, but it's kind of hard not to talk about it because it came out in I think it came out in late 2021. The first episode, Omni-Man shows up and he helps the defenders of Earth, basically. Oh, people are attacking the White House. All right, I show up, and suddenly he's more or less he's more powerful than the whole crew put together. There's a Batman equivalent. There's a Wonder Woman equivalent. There is a Superman equivalent, but he's more of oh, I die and get back up kind of character.
Mhm.
And he will remember everything that happens to him when he dies. So stuff that happens to him later on is actually quite important. So the entire time, Mark Grayson, who's the main character, is oh man, I wish I could get my dad's powers, because he's aware his dad is a Viltrumite. What he believes his dad is oh, we go around to worlds and we guardian the worlds. We we help build them up, we do good, and we protect them, and we really help advance them in the way so that they can be introduced into the universe in a way where you could look at it and go, it's a very if the Kryptonians didn't get fucking got kind of mentality. That's kind of cool. And he shows up and he's got his powers because he was working at a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant. He throws the rubbish in the bins, but he throws them into two states over. The next scene you'll see The scene you'll see at the start of the next episode in Washington, bearing in mind they're like, you know, in bumfuck, I live out in the wherever the fuck we live, we don't live in town kind of things, but we're definitely not in Washington. Generic city, so on and so on. Is the rubbish from that scene landing on a guy because he threw it that hard that it went that far for that long. And the scene is he comes in, guys, Mom, Dad, look, I can fly. And I believe the mother's voiced by Lucy Liu as well, which is fantastic. And he's like, I got my powers. And Omni-Man, who was having a wonderful conversation with his wife, goes entirely silent and goes, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, okay. And he, like, you know, does a little thing. He goes, oh, you do? Cool. So that night, all of the superheroes get a bell on their emergency system of, oh, we're all being summoned. The Batman guy is the one who always does this. All right, let's see what the fuck he wants, because you can't tell who's summoning you. That's a problem. They all arrive at their essentially equivalent of the Batcave, and there's a Flash equivalent. He's called like the Red Blur or something like that. Don't worry, I'm not remembering his name because of a reason. And they all show up and they're like, "What's going on? What's happened here, guys?" And they're like, "Yeah, why did you summon us?" And he said, "I didn't summon any of you." So, in the comics, you just see the death of all the Guardians are dead, and that's it. What the fuck happened? So it's a huge mystery in the comics for a while.
Mm-hmm.
However, the only thing you do know is that the guy who is actually Abraham Lincoln, who is the superpower guy who's coming back from the dead, yes, he got shot in the head, in the back of the head.
Such a fun sentence to say. The guy who's actually Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, it's great. He's straight up as Abe Simpson. He's aware who did it, but in this scene we find out why. Because the Red Zoom is there, and of course he's faster than everyone present. So he immediately runs and shoves the Immortal, that's his name, the Immortal, just shoves him out of the way. As 2 milliseconds, like his chin gets grazed by Omni-Man's fist, because he was trying to jump Immortal from behind, so Immortal had no idea it was him. Because he knew Immortal would come back, but he'd have no idea that he was the one who got him. He's also, quote-unquote, the strongest or second strongest in the group, save the Wonder Woman clone. And they're all like, what the fuck? Why did you just try to jump him? And he doesn't say anything, and they're all going, oh god, he's been mind-controlled. Quickly, we have to work together. And they're trying to do a few things. And then the issues arise, which is one or two of the characters who are a bit minor, like I think it's the Batman clone is the Batman equivalent is one of the first ones, because this guy is one of those artists who wasn't afraid to go, what happens if Batman fights Superman? So Omni-Man just grabs him and swings him once and cracks his skull on the ground, and then swings him again and just goes, yeah, that's dead. And it's like, oh, yeah, no, that's what happened if someone with that kind of power could do it.
Yeah.
This is the same man who once threw a meteor the size of Texas. And he had no reason to lie, so he probably was the size of Texas. He then proceeds to go through everyone, but it's the only scene which would probably be a bit uncomfortable is he's swinging at everyone and he's nearly killing them, but the Red Blur is just grabbing them, pulling them out of the way at the last second. He's like, he's working overtime in this. Like, he is the only reason they're staying alive right now, is that he's there keeping them alive. However, Omni-Man is nearly as fast as him, so every time he goes for it, Omni-Man reaches to try and grab him too. Eventually, Omni-Man like knocks a few people back and he tries to do something to slow him down for a little second. He grabs him. And the worst part is, before this scene, he's talking with his wife and she's like, you don't care about anything that we do. It's like, no, I do. You have to understand, I do. I love you. I really do. My problem is that all of these things that are happening are like, these go on for days and hours for me. So Omni-Man grabs him and puts his hands at either side of his head and makes his hands close together. And it's a slow-mo scene for everyone else around them. Not for those two. Because he's like bullet punch speeding, like he breaks his hands punching Omni-Man's chest. But he does like do a serious, like there's like nearly a concave on Omni-Man's chest from the punches. Like it's not
like he doesn't do anything back. He
Mhm.
does do really well, but then it just becomes somebody slips and Omni-Man kills him. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Because what they're actually there to do is, there's a group of aliens who later attack whilst Mark, who's his son, is like, oh, I'm learning how to be a hero, and I've run in to help these people. So the second time these aliens came back, they really outpace everyone. It's the second or third time they come back. They really outpace everyone.
This is
Omni-Man-
really endearing, but I feel like I need to stop you because we're reaching the point where there's no point in me watching this series.
There isn't.
And also, it's 10 past 11.
I will end it with
I think
this.
I
will
opened
end it
the
with this.
hyperfixation because you just
Sorry,
kind of
you did.
went off. It was very
did.
sweet,
I'm
but
sorry.
also
I'm
it's time
sorry.
to end the
I
stream.
will end this with the last point then, because it's the best point and it's the coolest point. He goes through the portal that these guys have made to their own personal realm, wherever it is, and he's basically crushed their leader in his hands and just stares out at the masses and just goes, "You don't seem to understand." And this is J.K. Simmons saying this, so it sounds baller. Earth isn't yours to conquer. And he just goes, and it's just oh, that's terrifying. Okay, thank God Mark is a good being. Maybe Mark can stop his dad.
Eee!
It's like, that's the first episode. It's like they just go, oh no, this is the first bit of blood as well, was this scene. That scene of like him fucking them up. It was like the first time. Ugh. So fucking good. Anyone who wants to just do it, I've only referenced like a fragment of it. The rest of it, it's gorgeously animated. Really great voice acting. Good stories. Love it. But yes, we do need to stop because I have a bro brain went on.
You went brr. It was very cute. It was very cute. It happens to all of us. Yes. I think it's time to raid.
Who shall we wade?
Well, wait, we're gonna wade, Lying. A good friend.
Yeah, but
'Cause I haven't raided them for a month because I haven't streamed for a month.
let's remedy this.
Okay, you know the drill, guys. If you have emotes, then you need to be using your emotes.
Teeth, 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 teeth.
Teeth, 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 teeth. If you don't have teeth, the woos are fine. Right, raid channel. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Give them lots of love. Right, I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon for some more art. I probably will maybe actually do some sprites. We'll see. And then in the evening, it's going to be some kind of game because we're not doing D&D, so it's going to be a backup game of some description. It might be Palia because I'm having a lot of fun in Palia, honestly. It's a good chill-out game. And yeah, I hope to see you there.
And if you want notifications for it, you can always join her Discord
Yay.
over at that Discord link. You
Join
can
the Discord.
also check her Twitters for her art and for her commissions.
Yes,
You
I'm
can also
hoping.
check
I'm
her
hoping
YouTube.
to get it. Hoping at some point I can get onto the alternate website, which is appropriately named, shall we say?
Yes. Also, don't forget, if you want to check up on those D&D sessions before they happen, like,
There's
there is a
VODs
backlog.
on the YouTube. There's a
Backlog of
lot.
VODs.
There's
Go
a lot.
enjoy.
Right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Love you all. Bye.
So, have a nice day.